Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're looking at all the new cards for the next expansion to Hearthstone. So at least right now on the Asian account, you can look at the new cards. You can go here to crafting mode to see the cards, and then that will allow you to see under standard sets WitchWood. And then because you can't actually craft the cards right now, you have to click this box to see them. Last time we looked at the Warlock cards, this time we're going to do the Warrior cards, then the neutral cards, and that'll take a while certainly, because the vast majority of new cards will be neutral cards, which is probably a good thing. And while you're listening, please do subscribe to my channel and click the notification bell, that's very helpful. Moving forward, the first card we have from the Warrior is a 1 mana, 1 attack, 2 health minion called the Town Crier. It has Battle Cry, draw a rush minion from your deck. Rush is the new key phrase. It's like Charge, except for the fact that you can't attack heroes. I suppose if we find a card that is very important that has Rush, that you really need in your hand, something like this might work. Beyond that, however, you probably could do better for 1 mana than a 1/2 minion. It's a little strange that this is an epic, too. Although epics just talk about the rarity that you supposedly get out of packs, they don't limit the number of cards like legendaries, where you can only have 1 legendary in your deck. You can have 2 epics or commons or 2 rares. Next we have is a 2 mana, 1 attack, 3 health beast class minion called the Red Band Wasp. Both the wasps and wisps in the game now, which is going to be confusing. It does have the rush ability, so it can attack minions on the turn that it's played. And it has +3 attack while damaged, which will work rather well with a beast, with something with rush. So almost certainly on your second turn you attack this with something that has you use this to kill something or damage something that has 1 or 2 attack. It's damaged now, and then it has 4 attack and 1 health, which is pretty good for a 2/1 that already got to attack once. It is worth pointing out that this used to be called the enraged key phrase, and they have chosen to get rid of that as a key phrase and instead just explain it, because it explains it just as well. So in the old way, and they're changing all the old cards, it would have read enrage : or enraged : +3 attack. Now it reads has +3 attack while damaged, which just, they felt like that was easier and made it more sense, and it explained things a little bit better than having new players ask what does enraged mean, which, I mean, is a valid point, I think. Enraged cards are pretty unique to warrior class cards, so we'll probably see some more of those. Next we have a 2 mana spell called Warpath. It has the Echo ability, which means it can be played a second time after it's played the first time during that turn, or a third time, or as many times as you can play it. It deals 1 damage to all minions. This certainly is built around the enrage concept, which I suppose will still be a concept even if the key phrase is not used. I believe this is our 3rd weapon for this expansion, and there won't be any neutral weapons. I think. I don't know if there have ever been any neutral weapons. I don't think there are. It's 2 mana, 2 attack, 2 durability, or 2 uses. It's called the Woodcutter's Axe. Death Rattle gives +2/+1 to a random friendly rush minion. Interesting. with them getting rid of Enrage as a key phrase and introducing Rush, there will almost certainly eventually be a card that says has Rush while damaged, which frankly there's already well, maybe there aren't any cards that have something like that, but eventually those two will get combined for some minions. Next we have is a 3 mana, 3 attack, 3 health minion called the Rabid Worgen. It has Rush, so again, it can attack minions on the first turn it's played. Can't attack heroes on the first turn it's played, at least by default. Next we have a 4 mana, 2 attack, 5 health minion called the Militia Commander. Rush and the battle cry gain plus 3 attack this turn. So on your 4th turn you play this and it does 5 damage and has 5 health to help you take out any like strong taunt creature or dangerous attack minion that your opponent might have. I could certainly see playing that. Next we have a 5 mana, 4 attack, 4 health minion called Darius Crowley. It's a legendary minion, so you can only have one in your deck. It has Rush, and after this attacks and kills a minion, it gains +2/+2. So almost certainly, unless you just play it at a very poor time, it will become a 6/6 or something. It'll be, actually I guess it's the equivalent of a 6/6 minus at least 1 health. So at best it will be a 6/5 if it attacks and kills a 1 attack minion. I guess it could attack a 0 attack minion and be a 6/6. More often than not, I imagine it will be something closer to a 6/3 or 6/2 and won't last the second turn, but it's still probably a decent card to consider and to have in your deck. Next we have a 5 mana, 2 attack, 7 health minion called the Fester Root Hulk. After a friendly minion attacks, gain +1 attack. I could see this getting played quite a bit. A decent number of cards that we've seen for the Warrior so far. Yeah, you could certainly pump this one up. If there's 6 other minions on the field and they all attack, let's say they all attack the enemy hero, and they all do 1 damage. So let's say you have 6 1/1 wisps on the field. They all attack. They give this +1 attack for each attack. You've got this up to now 8/7, and this attacks the enemy hero. In that 1 turn, you've done 14 damage of the 30 that they start with. And by the time the second turn comes around, if you attack the enemy hero another 6 times, then this guy on his own will have 14. So you would have done in your second turn 20 damage. So 2 turns, in theoretically at least, you would have done more than 30 damage. Although it's also possible that this one is a little bit too much of a pain because it starts too low. But I think that's going to be a good card. Next we have a 6 mana spell called Deadly Arsenal. Reveal a weapon from your deck. Deal its attack to all minions. I have a specific weapons deck I play that would work rather well with this card. So I could certainly see playing this. And even if you're not doing too much with weapons in a warrior deck, if you have just 1 or 2 in your collection and you play this would still probably be a pretty good board clear, if not close to board clear, spell for 6 mana. And then finally we have a 7 mana, 3 attack, 8 health legendary minion called the Black Howl Gunspire, which I wonder if this is a Howl's Moving Castle reference or what? It can't attack. Whenever this minion takes damage, deal 3 damage to a random enemy. Remember, you could always silence something like this. But there's no line-by-line vetoes as far as silence. So you can't say silence the first ability and not the second ability. Although that would be very interesting in a future expansion if you could say silence the first sentence and not the second sentence of cards, and then have a card that does the exact opposite, and then you could write half of these cards in random ways. I guess the either you could play a card, make a card that says silence one of all cards of a card's ability. So 50-50 coin flip whether or not it silences this part or that part. That'd be really interesting. Very gambly and a fun way to play. But ignoring silencing this and just then being able to attack with a 3/8, which isn't that great in the first place, you could play a lot of the enraged cards that do 1 damage to all minions and potentially do as many as 24 damage split between random enemies, and if you manage to always kill all the minions on your opponent's side, then the only minion that would be left, the only enemy that would be left would be the hero. It's not the greatest of card, but I could certainly see it. I wanted to look though and see what happens when I type in the phrase enrage. Now there's literally no results. So the key phrase to search now has been changed, and that's gonna irritate some people. So you have to now type in wall damaged to see cards that used to be called enraged. And the wall damaged, I guess, is also being expanded away from being solely warrior cards now to this one mage card, and that's an interesting thing too. So has +1 attack while damaged, has +3 attack while damaged, has +3 attack while damaged, it has +6 attack while damaged, and there are several neutral cards too. +3 attack, has +1 attack and Wind Fury while damaged. Taunt has +3 attack when damaged. So there really wasn't too many cards that had the enrage anyways. Oh, they phrased it a little bit differently, so you have to search damaged now, and then when you search damaged, you start to get some other cards that wouldn't have been enraged cards in the first place. So so they've really ruined enraged if you were trying to make an enraged deck. So I'd be very surprised if we don't lose the daily quest for playing any enraged cards, if there was even a daily quest. There may never been one. And see, this summons a 2/1 damage golem, so damaged also is sometimes the name of cards. What a mess. What a mess to create. Anyways, that's the warrior cards for WitchWood. Next time we will be looking at the neutral cards for WitchWood, which that is the vast majority of cards. Although, to be fair, there's only 24 pages of cards for WitchWood, and if we were to look at like kobolds, it's 24 pages too. So this is a very consistent expansion. It seems like they've got the number of cards they want to add down pretty tightly, down to a very specific number even, and it seems like you are just always going to get 10 cards for each character class in every expansion now, and then 24 pages ending right here, with the exception of the Frozen Throne expansion, which gave you one more card for free because everybody got the Lich King. Or maybe not everybody got the Lich King, because I don't have the Lich King. Everybody got, I think, something. Anyways, that's it for this recording. Stay tuned if you're watching live. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below in the description box. If you want to support me even further, gift me a game on Steam or a gift card on Steam. That helps me out a lot. By the way, if you while you're subscribing, make sure you hit that notification bell. They really want people to do that. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.